One of the most common criticisms of Islam is this: why did Prophet Muhammad marry Aisha, R.A.? Before answering, let's agree on one principle. If we're going to judge history, we have to judge all of history fairly. Not just one person, not just one religion. Because history without context isn't history. It's selective judgment. Today, many people hear one number, become emotional, and never ask the most important question: what was considered normal at that time? Historians don't study the Roman Empire using today's laws. They don't judge ancient Egypt using modern social customs. And they don't judge medieval Europe using 21st century standards. They first ask, how did people of that society live? For thousands of years, throughout nearly every civilization, marriages at what we today consider young ages were not unusual. This wasn't unique to Arabia. It existed in Europe, the Byzantine Empire, Persia, India, China, Africa, and many other societies. For example, Lady Margaret Beaufort of England was married at around 12 years old and became a mother at 13. Isabella of Valois, a French princess, was married to King Richard II of England while still very young. Royal families across Europe often arranged marriages early to build alliances between kingdoms. These are not opinions. They are historical facts. Jewish history also records marriages at young ages in certain periods. Ancient Roman law permitted girls to marry from the age of 12. Across the world, customs differed from society to society because people lived in completely different circumstances than we do today. Does that mean those customs should exist today? No. Societies change. Laws change. Medical knowledge advances. Islam teaches Muslims to obey the lawful regulations of the country they live in, provided they do not require disobedience to Allah. The point is not to defend every historical custom. The point is to understand history honestly. Because judging people from 1400 years ago as though they lived in today's world is not how serious historians study the past. In the next part, let's look specifically at the life of Prophet Muhammad. Was his marriage really about personal desire, or does history tell a very different story? Now let's look at Prophet Muhammad himself, because one historical fact changes the entire discussion. If the Prophet was motivated by desire, his life would look very different. He married Khadija, R.A., when he was about 25 years old. She was approximately 15 years older than him, a respected businesswoman, and previously married. He remained married only to her for about 25 years. During all those years, when he was young, healthy, and in the prime of his life, he did not take another wife. Think about that. If personal desire had been his motivation, why wait until after the age of 50? Why remain devoted to one wife for 25 years? After Khadija, R.A., passed away, the Prophet entered one of the most difficult periods of his life. He had lost his beloved wife. He had lost his uncle Abu Talib, who protected him. His followers were being persecuted. Soon after, they would migrate from Makkah to Medina. Most of his later marriages happened during this period, not during comfort, but during hardship, responsibility, and the building of a new society. Many of the women he married were widows. Several had lost their husbands in battle. Some had no one to support them. Marriage became a way of providing protection, dignity, and security in a society without modern welfare systems. Some marriages also strengthened relationships between different tribes, reducing hostility and helping unite communities that had previously been at war. These were responsibilities, not simply personal choices. Now what about Aisha, R.A.? The most widely accepted Sunni narrations record one age for her marriage contract and another for the marriage being consummated. Some contemporary Muslim researchers, using historical timelines and reports about her sister Asma, have argued that she may have been older. While this view exists, the traditional narration remains the majority position among Sunni scholars. Regardless of which view a person accepts, there is another historical fact that is often overlooked. The Prophet had many enemies. They accused him of being a poet, a magician, a liar, yet none of them criticized this marriage. Not because they feared him, but because, within the social norms of 7th century Arabia, it was not regarded as extraordinary. If it had been viewed as immoral by his own society, his opponents would almost certainly have used it against him. History records many accusations they made. This was not one of them. In the next part, we'll ask the most important question of all. How should we judge historical figures fairly, without using double standards? Now let's ask the most important question. How should we judge history fairly? Because this discussion is not only about Islam, it's about whether we're willing to apply the same standard to everyone. Every civilization has practices that would seem unusual by today's standards. Marriage customs changed. Laws changed. Cultures changed. The age of adulthood changed. What societies expected from people changed. That is why professional historians first ask what was normal at that time, before making moral judgments. The same principle applies when studying the lives of religious figures, kings, queens, and entire civilizations. If we remove history from its historical context, we will misunderstand almost all of history. But there is something even more important. When judging Prophet Muhammad, don't isolate one event from a life that transformed millions. Look at the complete picture. He was known as Al-Amin, the trustworthy, even before prophethood. He forgave the people of Makkah after they had persecuted him for years. He prohibited the killing of women, children, monks, and non-combatants during war. He taught that the best of you are those who are best to their wives. He said that the strong person is not the one who defeats others in wrestling, but the one who controls himself when angry. He encouraged freeing slaves and treating them with dignity. He commanded kindness to parents, neighbors, orphans, and the poor. His wife Aisha, R.A., the very person people speak about today, became one of the greatest scholars in Islamic history. She narrated more than 2,000 authentic hadiths. The greatest companions of the Prophet came to her to learn Islamic law, worship, and the Sunnah. She was respected as a teacher, jurist, and one of the most knowledgeable people of her generation. That is part of her story too. So if someone wants to study history, study all of it. Study the character of the Prophet. Study how he treated his family. Study how he treated his enemies. Study how he changed a society plagued by tribal warfare into one, built upon justice, charity, and the worship of one God. Whether you are Muslim or not, every historical figure deserves to be judged honestly, with evidence, with context, and with consistency. The lesson is simple. You don't have to agree with someone's faith to evaluate history fairly, but fairness requires us to judge every civilization by the same standard. Not one standard for those we admire and another for those we criticize. May Allah guide us to seek the truth with sincerity, increase us in beneficial knowledge, and help us speak with justice, even when discussing those with whom we disagree. Ameen. If you have a sincere question about Islam, leave it in the comments. It might be the next one we answer.